Same, same. I'm with
Yeah. Oh my gosh,
Pineapple.
All right, buddy.
In the drawer sometimes. They're just having the time of my life.
Instagram pictures together.
Oh my gosh.
It has a Thundercat.
Technology.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Oh no. We never doubted them.
Hello.
Thank you
Thanks
so much
for having us.
Yeah, it's awesome that you guys could do this. I know that you're super busy with all things reselling, and we're gonna talk about that in just a few short moments, what you guys got going on and what the future looks like. But for now, I want to talk about how you got started. Let's just get right into it. How'd you get started in reselling? Why don't you walk us down memory lane? How long has it been?
So it started with me originally, I would say probably, 15 years ago?
About 15 years ago.
About 15 years ago, I jumped on the eBay bandwagon and
He had a few things around the house, and he's like, I think I'm just going to throw them on eBay to sell them.
yep, just started picking up some stuff around the house, and it sold instantly. And I was like, wow, this could actually be a thing. So I didn't know what to sell. So I jumped on YouTube and I started following like the Bonafide Hustler and Rake and Profit and some of these big YouTubers back in the day that were kind of giving you all the tips and tricks on what to sell on eBay. And I got into clothing, I got into toys, I got into electronics. I kind of dabbled all over the place. I really wasn't into one specific category. So I did that for quite a few years. And then just like all platforms, it kind of ebbed and flowed a little bit. I had really good times and then it would die down. So when some of these newer platforms were popping up, like Poshmark, some Etsy stuff, we kind of started Macari. We kind of started broadening the areas in which I sold. And then it
wasn't interested in the beginning.
She was not interested. She wouldn't even step foot.
Not at all. He's
Perfect.
Like, let's go thrifting, and I'm like,
She would not even step foot in a thrift store for years, and
let's go to the mall.
yeah. And so
J. Crew.
So
Yeah.
and so my best friend growing up was Chris, who is Ashley's brother. And I've known Ashley from House of Coop since she was really small, and we're practically family. So to kind of watch Ashley and Jacob and how they've started and where they've gotten to, and how they've just really turned everything around, and they quit their jobs and everything. I started looking at that outlook as far as like, hey, maybe we should try it. She is not an on-camera person. She was super nervous. She goes,
Right behind the camera.
She goes, I will be your IT person, but you're gonna have to be the one in front of the camera. So
and they helped us make the decision to switch, because mostly it was an inventory issue too. Like with eBay and the other platforms, you have to hold on to the inventory, where whatnot we could sell it right away. Right. And we liked that idea, so we tried it.
So yeah, we moved from Florida to Tennessee in 2022, and Ashley and Jacob started really kind of pushing us to give it a shot. Like, hey, just try it and see if you like it. And so finally, we just bit the bullet. And
last year we started.
Last year we jumped on Whatnot, and first show we get rated by House of Coop, which is stressful in itself, because you get hundreds and hundreds of people on your show and you don't know exactly what the controls are. But we just kind of went with it, and it's kind of nice to be able to pick up the phone and shoot Ashley and Jacob a text message if I have a question about shipping, or hey, what is new on this, or what do you think about picking this up, or and so it's kind of our direct line to support,
which not everybody has.
So we
were very lucky.
So and then,
but that got me into vintage and antique.
And now I can't get her out of a thrift store. Now it's like,
ironic.
Yeah, Saturday.
So now instead of going and doing that, we were like, oh, why don't we just open our own?
Snap. So we did Whatnot for a year, and we had some really good shows. We got into House of Coop when they hosted Vintage Wars. We were on Vintage Wars like 2 or 3 months in. We got on some of the other bigger competition shows. We did a really cool road trip to Texas and back, where we were driving and then sourcing, and then
the whole way there and back.
Then each night we would actually run a show from the hotel room, pack it up, ship it, and go out the next day. And so we had all these people following us on our trip down to Texas and then all the way back. And then we had an opportunity to expand our online presence to an actual physical brick and mortar store in beautiful downtown Sweetwater, Tennessee. And if you know anything about Sweetwater, Tennessee, it's like a real good tourist attraction for antique and vintage. And there's 5 main antique stores, all within walking distance, all ran by fabulous business owners. A lot of them are malls, so you get a lot of vendors who bring in different things. And it's brought in a lot of followers for us and a lot of new friends coming in just because we have a brick and mortar store. And so you can kind of put, a face with a person now that you're used to seeing somebody just online. And now you're actually getting to meet them in person, and it's pretty incredible. So, and that's what we've been focusing on for the last 3 months.
Yeah.
16-hour days, mostly her. Remodeling, re-merchandising, getting vendors in, preparing for we have a big grand opening.
Ribbon cutting.
With the media, August 14th of this month. And we've reached out to, I think we have about 35 to 45 Whatnot resellers traveling from all over the United States to come here for that event. To source our stores, source all the other stores in Sweetwater. So we got some really cool surprises planned for all of our Whatnot reseller friends. We're going to be doing a Whatnot reseller meetup a block up the road at a local tavern, and we're going to have a band and food trucks and all that. So not only are they just going to be able to come here for the ribbon cutting in the store, but they're actually going to be able to rub elbows with people like House of Coop and Exo Vintage by Ash and, Lisa Robb and, all these different sellers from all over the United States.
And when you all get everybody together, everybody's throwing ideas at each other. And,
oh, I know.
Yeah.
It's pretty incredible.
So it's cool.
We're very blessed to have been brought in by House of Coop. We've gone to the House of Coop meetup in Tampa. We went to the big Whatnot reseller meetup in Austin, where House of Coop were special guests, speakers there. So we've been pretty fortunate to kind of meet some of the big wigs and some of the amazing big sellers and kind of learn from them. And we take that information and we put it towards our brick and mortar store and our Whatnot. So I think I've got the 15 years. I think I've done the 15 years pretty quick. So
in less than 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah, well done.
That's
I mean, that's a history lesson in itself. It's changed so much. Like going from eBay to live selling. Live selling seems to be the future of reselling. We've had that discussion before on this podcast. It's incredible to see the growth journey and the knowledge journey. The fact that you had a mentor, and a friendship first, and then a mentorship over the years, and how that plays out for you guys. That's super impactful. I think. Can't say enough about that. That's awesome. If it wasn't for moving my son into Tuscaloosa for University of Alabama, I might show up for that. Unfortunately, it's on the same. It's on the same week.
You're only 3 hours away from me. You got any vintage toys on there? I might have to pop over.
Yeah.
Come on.
We have all
Come on
kinds.
now.
You guys are super close to both Ellie and myself.
Yeah.
We're in North Alabama.
Oh, okay.
Right around Ardmore. I'm not sure. We're right on the Ardmore, Tennessee line. So we're right on the border. And Ellie is in Murfreesboro, so she's not too far from y'all.
And the town itself is a beautiful town. It's like a go-to, not only is there antiques and stuff here, but like there's a lot of other things to do. There's food. They're like a creamery. They make their own ice cream. It's like a destination for people. And I don't think there's any empty buildings here in downtown.
No
like it's
big
a really
local.
Yeah, it's all local businesses. It's just a really beautiful place to come. The city does a really good job at keeping everything, which is really good for the businesses here.
Yeah.
So walk us through what it was like. Let's rewind a bit. When you left Florida to move to Sweetwater, is it Sweetwater, Tennessee, right? So you both lived there and worked there, correct?
Yes.
That's ish.
Well,
ish.
in the area,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
So walk us through. Was it just the business that drove that, or was there another reason potentially that drove that? Just curious.
That drove us
more so
moving
curious.
Here?
Yeah.
Okay. So
you want me to tell it, or you?
Go ahead.
We wanted to start finding our retirement home and paying for it now, getting
okay.
getting something now. And we weren't planning on leaving Florida. I worked in a medical practice. I was an operations manager for a private cancer facility, and he worked for Department of Homeland Security doing a bomb dog. He's a canine handler for years and years. When he was in the military, he lived in Alaska. And so that's where he wanted to retire, in Alaska. I said, he wanted mountains. And I said, no way. He loved it there. He's like, it's so beautiful. I was like, great, let's visit. Let's have a vacation, not moving there when we're in our 60s. So we started looking in this area. We vacationed here all the time. We come to the corner of, Tennessee, North Carolina, Georgia corner. We ride motorcycles, and we would visit often. Gatlinburg and love to get a cabin out here. And so anyway, we ended up finding property here in 2021. We found 28 acres, which is about maybe 5 minutes from Sweetwater. And we got it. And a year later, we decided we didn't want to wait anymore, and we moved.
The housing market was at the top of the market, and so we had a lot of equity in our home. Florida was getting really crowded. It was always really hot. Traffic was really bad. So we just kind of made the decision on a whim to, I guess, leave our jobs and move here, and kind of put it in God's hands and be like, hey, if this is where we're supposed to be, it'll work out. And here we are a few years later, or doing pretty well and whatnot. And she's got her own store now, and I'm working full time. And so it's been working out, but that's pretty much how we ended up here in a little small town in Tennessee.
I mountain trapped him in East Tennessee instead of Alaska.
Yeah.
Stark difference.
It's a lot easier to ship from East Tennessee than Alaska too.
Yeah.
Yay, Alaska. I can't wrap my head around that one.
It's beautiful. You should always get a chance. If you get a chance to go there, visit.
Is it not just cold?
No, they have summers, but they're just not as long.
Or short, very short summers.
Yeah.
I grew up in Chicago. I'm done with short summers.
And I'm from Connecticut originally, so I'm used to like long winters. And where in Connecticut?
I'm New Haven, born and raised.
Okay.
So,
Wyndham. Well, I grew up in Scotland, Connecticut. Okay.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Our son actually goes to Yukon up there. So
that's awesome. My son applied there and got in, but chose not to go because of funding. He got a full ride scholarship to the University of Alabama, so he decided to go there instead.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Very cool.
Yeah, so Yukon is, it's a good school. The area is nice in Connecticut, as you are well aware, but the cost of living in Connecticut is absolutely atrocious.
Yeah.
Luckily, we have family up there, so he's able to stay with family and stuff like that. Yeah. So
that's excellent. So I would assume you make that trip often. We just actually made that trip last week. So
yeah, we're right in the middle of our daughter.
Last year, our daughter lives in Houston and our son is in Connecticut. So last year, I think we traveled 5 times to Houston and 4 times to Connecticut.
Yeah.
Wow.
We made
a lot of thrifting
out of it.
And we did. That was the funnest part, was making this. We flew like 1 or 2 times, and we're like, no, we need to drive. We started driving so that we could source all the way.
12-hour drive turns into a 19-hour drive when you're stopping at thrift stores and antique stores.
Yeah.
Sure. So makes it a long trip.
Time flies when you're having fun. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I love a good thriftcation, or whatever you want to call it. Also,
we had one trip back from Houston. We had so much stuff in the car, and we stopped at this place. I don't know where it was.
Somewhere in Mississippi.
Mississippi, and it was just this little place, little hole in the wall, and she had this whole wall, and we had no room in the car, none. Like, we were already full, and she had this whole wall, and everything was $1. And for us, like, she had Carnival glass and Fenton and all this stuff on this wall. Everything was $1 she was trying to clean out. We had our dog in the back seat. We were shoving things under, sticking it in here, wherever we could find a little
Mom,
hole to
Dad,
shove
please.
something. Yeah.
That's great.
That was probably our most interesting trip back.
Oh yeah.
Sourcing.
How do you pass on that? Yeah, goodness.
What do you do with $1 Fenton? You find a way.
Yeah.
You do. You find a way. I didn't care if I came back with it on my lap. I was like, we're taking all of it. Yeah, we did. We had stuff everywhere. That was quite the drive.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Okay, I have a question.
Yes.
Yes.
So you said you just started Whatnot last year?
Yes.
So that means that you moved down to Tennessee or up to Tennessee
Yes.
with your eBay store. How big of an eBay store did you have? How did that work? Because I know I had my own struggles with something similar. What was that like for you?
So in Florida, we had a 4-car detached garage with an office. And so I built that out to hold all of our eBay inventory. And then when we moved to Tennessee, we had none of that. And we actually developed the property over the course of about 2 years. We put up a big building and all this other stuff. So it was a struggle for a while. I kept
A lot of stuff was in storage.
or in an enclosed trailer.
When he would sell something, he would start silently just cussing out everybody because he's like, I got to go find this now. I don't know what tote it's in.
Yeah.
It's not organized.
It's tough. And I had, so to answer your question, I had about 1,700 items currently listed on eBay when we moved.
Wow.
Now I'm right about 1,100. Sorry about that. So now I'm about 1,100 items currently listed on eBay. But since we've moved here, I've built out a whole entire garage with a bin system, and everything is marked properly. So when we do sell something on the bay, it's quickly we can find it and get it shipped out.
Some of this stuff he's actually
Transitioning,
boxing and transitioning into
from eBay to
the store
store
because it's easier.
We're getting such a demand for items that I know that I have on eBay that might be sitting there for a while, that I can transition here to the store for a quicker sale.
So let's, go ahead. So many questions.
You guys cross-list at all? I know I do have so many. Were you guys cross-listing before? Were any of those items cross-listed?
Yeah, so I really only cross-listed from Poshmark and eBay. That was really the only two platforms that I cross-listed, because with me working in Department of Homeland Security, if I sold something on one platform and I didn't immediately remove it from the other one, I would find myself in a problem, because Murphy's Law, if I sell it on eBay, I'm going to sell it on Poshmark 2 hours later, and then now I have to figure out which one I'm going to cancel.
Never fails.
Right. So I mean, it could have it be in your store for a year and it sells the same place, two separate places in 1 hour. So currently, we're not cross-listing anything. It's either on eBay or we have totally separate inventory for Whatnot.
That's interesting. So how much? Well, that was circa 2020 when you moved to Sweetwater, right? You said 2021? 2022. Okay. So how much
Same
did
year as I moved to Tennessee.
Yeah. How much did COVID play with that decision-making process, do you think? Because that was an interesting time to be a reseller. And also just to be a human and live that experience.
Yeah, especially for both of us, with her being in the medical field and me being in the DHS field, we didn't really get that time at home. We were both, essential workers, I guess is what it would be called. So I found that during COVID, I could sell video game consoles, video games, all that stuff at a lot higher price, because people were staying home and they couldn't go out and pick up, a Nintendo 64. So I was getting double the price during COVID that I wasn't getting when we weren't during COVID. So that was one interesting thing that I saw. I also had a way to get inventory that didn't involve going to thrift stores and stuff like that. So sourcing was definitely harder.
I wasn't doing it with him back then.
She wasn't doing it back then, so she was kind of just.
I worked too much to even do it. So
if I came home with stuff, she would help me clean it and take photos and bag it and label it and all that. But she wasn't actually involved in the sourcing process. Now, she would just source all day if she could, and I would do all the other listing. Now
Was it just financial interest that when you first started 15 years ago, or was it something else driving that? Or have you always been that type of person to work both sides against the middle? because that's kind of how I am. I like to have a bunch of different things going on at once. Just
So
I think to start, it was just to get rid of some of your stuff.
yeah, I just kind of
just had
stumbled
extra
upon it on
stuff.
accident. I moved into a new place, and we weren't living together at the time, and I had a bunch of stuff lying around, and I couldn't figure out what to do with it, and I didn't want to do a garage sale, and
And then once he sold a few things, then he
Yeah.
got really like, ooh,
sold a few things
this
on
could
eBay, and I'm
this
like,
could
wow.
get really good. And then he started doing the research and following everybody and saw what they were doing. And then he's like, hey, we got to do this. And I'm like, have fun.
I really got addicted.
Good luck.
Got addicted to the hunt.
Good luck.
You know, I really like. I mean, that's 99% of why we do what we do, right? Is to go out and find it
Yeah.
in the wild and find a good deal. And you know, I would come back and show her. I'd be like, check this out, and she's like, cool.
What is that?
What is it? Like, and I'm
Why
like,
did you
"Oh,
buy
this
that?"
This is the holy grail. Like, you know, I found a vintage Nintendo Game Boy, brand new, sealed in the box. You know, once at a thrift store for $30, and I mean, it went for
Wow.
you know almost $2,000, and it was just. Sometimes she'd see some of those really big flips, and she's like,
And then I was
Okay.
like, okay, now I see
you
it.
know, I can kind of see it. And then when she would go into a thrift store, she'd be like, hey, check this out, or hey, check that out. So it was kind of a slow process, I think, for both of us. But once I hit that mark of like, hey, I really like to go find this stuff. And then I was listening to people like I said, like Bonafide Hustler and Rake and Profit and Rally Roots. And, you know, all those people, I was like, oh, this is what they're telling me to find. And then I would go out and find it. It was just kind of like, this is really cool. And so once the money started rolling in, it was even better.
Then you're like, okay, this really could be, like, we obviously still had to work, but it was something that was profitable on the side that we could do, and it was started to be fun.
And it got to a point where, you know, I never really considered leaving my job to do it full time. But we always had it. It was always at a place where we could.
Yeah.
And so one of us lost our job, or if we decided, hey, I'm just going to try to give this thing a shot, that we could do it. We were profitable enough that we could do it. And then when it came to opening our own store, and she decided, you know what, I think I'm going to do the whatnot in the store full time. It was stressful because it was like, you know, we've been so conditioned to have jobs and insurance.
Well, and to back up a little, when we moved to Tennessee, I moved, I worked remote. I had a different job at that time, and I worked remote. And so that's how we were able to like move so easily, is I still worked remote. So I worked at home every day, and that's all I did was work at home. And he would get home, and I'm like, can we like go to Walmart, or can we, and because there's not a lot around here, you know, living in the areas that we live in. Can we go to Walmart? And he's like, no, I just got home, you know. So I needed something else to do myself, and so to get out of the house. And so that's what, you know, I got more into it.
It's kind of a naturally occurring thing. And it just kind of snowballed into being this. I mean, from starting Whatnot a year ago to having, how many square feet is this building?
8. Well, if you don't include the top, so about 8,000
usable
right now.
Holy
Wow.
2-story we have a 2-story antique mall that's completely full, and then we have a 3rd floor that nobody's even going up to. We haven't even
It
put
had to be remodeled to use it,
and it's completely full of inventory. Like, we just started going through boxes, and it's like Christmas. We don't even know what's in there. But it's so fun.
All right, so the stores come up. Let's talk about the store's name, how that came to be, how you came to find the store, and what that kind of how do you go from online reselling to deciding, knowing that live reselling is taking over the world, and then buying a brick and mortar? Walk us through the logic, walk us through why that is, walk us through the plan, etc. I'm so many questions.
Did we have a plan? We were like, oh, let's do it. So a friend of ours also owned some other properties here, and the building came up for sale, and he wanted to buy it, but he didn't want to run it. And so we started talking about me transitioning over here and doing that, and then it just turned into kind of a partnership. So everybody else already works a full-time job, and so I run the store. and I don't know.
It was already an antique store.
It was already an antique store.
Okay.
So it's kind of easy. And I think what made our decision really quickly was the location. So the location is easy. It's the previous owners were ready to retire, and so they would open on the weekends, but the town really wanted more hours, and so everybody was like really itching for this place to open up fully. So we already knew that it was going to be a hit. It's a great location. Our location, it's a prime. It's great.
Prime location for a business.
Yeah.
We literally have it. You cannot get a better spot.
It's directly across from the big parking lot that they have. So anybody coming in and parking there, or they're hitting us on the way in or the way out. So yeah, it was really a no-brainer for us. Also that we can incorporate our online selling from the store. We thought it would have been a little easier, I think, than it has been. Yeah, and it will be. But there were so many things that came up opening the store that we've been working on for the last couple months. We had to get marketing done. The building is 1800s. It was built in the 1880s. The name of our business is called Guthrie's Corner Market and Antiques. The building that it's in was created or built in 1880. It was called Guthrie, Bradley and Jones back then. And it was like a hardware slash, they had like dishes, hardware, furniture, just like all, and they were open until, gosh, what year? I think the 1950s.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Our town was a spot for the railroad. So our railroad would stop here, and that's why they call it Sweetwater, and they would fill up water on the tankers, and then all the locomotive personnel would get off the train and come into the hardware store. And so we decided to keep the name.
Yeah, we wanted to keep part of the name, which is Guthrie's, to keep part of the history. And it's pretty cool because we find like there's a thrift store right up the road that we go to. My father-in-law found an old cookbook, and Guthrie, Bradley and Jones, they were the sponsor. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. The sponsor of this cookbook. So it was really cool to like find stuff. Yeah, it was from 1949.
So we still find cool historic pieces even while we're thrifting about this building. So
and it's such a cool building. It's 2 stories, but the second floor it's all open, so it's like a mezzanine going all the way around. It's just really cool vibe when you walk in here.
We get a lot of compliments. People walk in and they go, "Wow!" And it's
or they'll say, "This is my favorite building downtown," just because of the way it's laid out. Yeah. Something that you'd have to like just walk in and see.
And so one of the big things for us is when we would do Whatnot, we had our own studio at the house, and we had our own room that we kept all of our inventory, and we're constantly swapping out inventory. We decided to get rid of all that at the house. And so we actually built an entire studio in the back of Guthrie's that's open so the public can watch us do live videos. And we have like a live
it's like an on-air sign.
So anytime we go live, the sign is on, and it's bad enough when you're on Whatnot because you can't see anybody. You can just see the text, people texting. Right. But then you look up and you got 6 or 7, 8 people
looking around the window.
And so it's pretty. It was pretty nerve-wracking at first. But then we get a lot of questions, and we get a lot of vendors that come in and say, "I kind of want to do that." So we're like, utilize our studio. If you want to utilize our studio and try it, it's one of the benefits of being a vendor for us.
Wow.
Such a genius idea.
Yeah, that's.
You ever see those candy pull? You ever see those candy pull places where they're making the candy back there?
Oh yes.
And you just want to automatically just walk in there and just buy all the candy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just put a QR code there, and then they just log into.
We do. We have one.
We do.
It tells them exactly what they're watching.
Y'all are living in 2050. I don't know what's going on. That's crazy.
Right. We put up some big TVs in the center of the store, so like. There's just a little area where people can kind of sit and watch TV. And so we'll put antiques on one side, but on the other side, we always have like Whatnot shows going so that people can see the live selling from other people too. So
on Antique Road,
and they'll be like, "What's that?" And then we have to explain. And we've gotten quite a few vendors in here now that all sell on Whatnot as well. And some people are like, "Oh, do you want me to not advertise?" And I'm like, "Advertise. Like that's what this is all about."
Yeah.
Everybody, advertise your stuff because there's more than enough stuff to go around. That's why I love vintage and antique because you're not going to have repeats. everything's a one of a kind, pretty much.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
That is amazing. Have you considered? No, this is just an idea. Don't, whatever. The third floor needs to be renovated. You said. What about turning that into a rental studio for Whatnot vendors?
Oh, that'd be cool.
So we
Just
actually
saying.
talked about that for doing what, because we actually talked to Whatnot when we were at the last two meetups, and we told them about the space, and they were like, if you want to do a Whatnot seller meetup, we could utilize that third floor. I mean, it's huge. It's a 16-foot ceilings. It's massive.
It's
Oh, wow.
it's really high. Like the ceilings are huge.
Yeah.
There was once upon a time the roof was not great, and so there's some damage. It needs to be renovated. Brand new roof on the building and everything now, but there's quite a bit of work up there that would have to get done. We're thinking maybe next year.
We've thrown ideas around as make it an upscale thrift store, so you get the antique and vintage crowd plus the thrift store crowd. So we've thrown some different ideas around and possibilities to turn that space around. We're just taking it one floor at a time. I think we
just living the dream.
We're almost done with the renovations on the second
Not yet,
floor.
but soon.
Not yet.
Well, you're dreaming.
We're dreaming.
Yeah.
We're doing a lot of dreaming.
And
I like the focus. Yeah.
I squirreled before, but when we got the building, it was a lot of painting and other things that we didn't anticipate taking so long. There was already merchandise in the building we had to take off the walls to be able to do what we had to do, and then we had to put it back, and so we just now finished 90% of the second floor. That's taken us away from Whatnot for the last couple months, and being able to sell online. But now that right after grand opening's done, we'll be able to kick right
We'll
back
have
in.
a way bigger presence on Whatnot, back to how we used to. We were running 2 or 3 shows a week before. One thing that we didn't anticipate is we are in downtown historic Sweetwater, Tennessee. So anything that gets done to the outside of this building has to be approved by the historic committee. And we had some things that we wanted to do, like we wanted to put up a brand new sign that had to go through a committee. We had to
paint a new awning.
Tore down the old awning and put up a new awning. So, and they meet once a month?
Yeah.
They meet once a month. So those are things that we didn't really anticipate, that kind of took a little bit of our time away.
But it should all be done by grand opening.
But August 14th, everything should be done as much as we're going to get done for our grand opening.
So have you guys done any Whatnot shows at all to kind of show the process? Okay.
Yeah, we do a lot of the fast flips, a lot of the competition shows. We get invited
to show the progress. We've shown the store, like we've logged on and just shown the store and things like that, and we're getting more followers. There's so many people close that we had no idea.
Oh yeah,
that's amazing.
We've gotten some big TikTokers that have found us, that have come through here.
Somebody heard about us from House of Coops show and then came in, and then her friend is a real big TikToker, and so they're going to come to our grand opening. And then we had another friend out in Wisconsin who's on Whatnot, and somebody came in the other day and says, "Oh, we saw you from their show," and so we're just getting a lot of traffic just from our friends on Whatnot sharing out, which is really cool.
Which is why we love this category. It's not a competition. It's more of a building of a network of people and friends.
Yeah. Speaking of friends, you have, I think if I last checked, about 8,000 friends on Whatnot. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's pretty incredible for the short period of time you've been on the app. So that says a lot about y'all as resellers on that app. It's not easy to do to grow that platform. It definitely can be a challenge at first.
That's in 1 year. That's really good.
Yeah, I was going to say that's really well done. How many sold do you think? Like 5,000, 6,000?
I think we're at 6,000.
I think about 6.
About 6,000 sold.
Look at me guessing.
I know.
Data analyst in him.
Hey, you know.
Yeah,
I'm the data guy.
Should have looked at the numbers before we got on. But I think we're right around 6. We were, for a while, our solds were more than our followers, which is to us was also another good thing.
Good indicator of.
Good indicator that we're bringing the right stuff to the people who want it.
Yeah, for those that are not familiar with Whatnot, it's a live auction platform for those that are listening on Spotify, Apple Music, and also Amazon Music. We appreciate you guys listening in. For those who are not familiar with Whatnot, it's a live auction platform where you can sell just about everything in Whatnot. I see what they did there. So you can go on there and sell all kinds of items live in person and have an audience bid your items up, hopefully. You can start your items at whatever you want to start them at. You can start them at $1. You can start them at $100. Just depends on the item. And there's such a movement right now in live reselling. So if you're not familiar with Whatnot, you're going to want to check that out. And the two things you need to do for that: download the Whatnot app, and then the first thing you do is go to Rocky Top Relics TN, and you friend them because they're awesome.
Thank you.
And then after you're done that, check out Tennessee Treasures and Rocky City Reseller. Because we both sell on there too.
Don't forget Fiona's Finds now.
Yeah, my wife Fiona's Finds is actually a better and more affluent, or all the things reseller than I am. She's incredible. She's the heartbeat of our business. So I'm very lucky. So we're very lucky to have her. Yeah, she can log in for 2 hours and just command a room with 25 to 30 people and make thousands of dollars.
People don't realize how hard that can be.
Yeah.
To keep people in a room. Yeah.
She sells mostly Fisher Price Little People, which is super hot right now for those that aren't tracking that. If you're into that type of thing, check out Fiona's Finds. We'll done plugging that Whatnot, but you're gonna definitely want to check out Whatnot. It's the future of live reselling. I think is definitely the future. It's so huge overseas, and it's just a matter of time before it catches fire here as well. I don't see a lot of like commercials because I don't watch a lot of TV, but I've heard that there are a lot of commercials now for Whatnot. And
I've seen a couple actually.
Well, Mr. Beast is really
they did the Super Bowl
for Whatnot. He's got his own store on there now, and so bringing on some celebrities like that has really kind of boosted the platform.
I think that people like the live connection, like they can see who's actually selling them this stuff, and then because you're making friends, and then you want to support your friends, and it's just like a whole network. Community.
In the new world of AI, this personal sort of feeling is huge, definitely.
Absolutely. And sometimes people will buy just because they like you know, more so than the product.
Yeah, that does. And I challenge people that don't like going on camera forward facing, because I was opposed to that as well. But I kind of grew into it. But
I've noticed other platforms.
I do a mean mini show, and I love it because the camera's not on me.
There's room for
little toys.
There's room for that, but I think you're right. They want the connection, kind of like QVC, right?
Yeah.
Back in, I don't even know if QVC is still a thing, but if it is, 2000s,
it actually is.
Yes.
Late night, probably.
Yeah, it's like late night.
And another thing I like about the Whatnot app is it don't matter what time you go on. You can go on at 9 a.m. on a Sunday morning or 3 a.m. on a Wednesday morning, and there's people on there scrolling through their phone buying stuff. So what really turned us on about it was the fact that you didn't have to hold on to inventory for 3 years before something finally sold.
And when we did have to hang on to inventory, things weren't selling, we're like, it taught us what to buy, what not to buy, with what was, and then to research what's trending. And
we don't really have a death pile because the death pile goes right on Whatnot right away.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
how do you guys decide? Yeah, how do you guys decide? I know the store is newer, but like in the past, how do you decide what goes on eBay, what stays on eBay, what goes on Whatnot, and then now like you inherited all this? Yeah, what stays in the store or whatnot. Yeah.
So for the most part in this store, we're sourcing what we're selling. So like right now, really hot are albums, and then like concert t-shirts or old concert t-shirt, old Harley Davidson stuff. So we sold out of everything we had. We talked to our vendors. We're like, bring in those kind of items, and those are just two examples. He was able to bring in a bunch of stuff from eBay, and those things are flying off the shelf. It could be cookbooks at the time, or for some reason, silver-plated butter dishes. We had maybe 15 of them. They're gone. I mean, you'll just see what's hot at the moment.
Jadeite right now.
Jadeite is flying off the shelf, and then we kind of make a note of it. We also have a book. So if customers come in and they're looking for something specific that we don't have, we'll make note of it. We send it out to our vendors. They'll bring in that stuff. So it's really just seeing what people are coming in looking for, talking to people that are coming in, asking them what they're looking for, so you can kind of learn what the trends are. That's how we're sourcing the store. I think it's different online, because online there's such a broader audience that it could be really anything. So in the vintage category, things are hot, like hens on nest, they ebb and flow, things like that. So whatever is hot, that
And we also live in a world where we want instant gratification, right? So like people walk into the store and they see it, they'll buy it right then. eBay, it's like you're competing with 30 other sellers, and it might be $1 difference that depends on who gets that sale, more recently, kind of the more specialized things that somebody would have to go online and look for, like maybe if they're looking for a particular saw or something, and we're not getting a lot of people coming into a store looking for that. So something like that would go on eBay, or something that was super rare, that's very, very expensive, that I don't want to put in the store or on whatnot. We'd put that on eBay. But
So
for the most part, they want instant
a lot
gratification.
of times too in the store, you get a lot of resellers, even though it's an antique shop. Thrift stores are so combed over right now. So if you're a reseller, a lot of resellers that are in this category are actually going to vintage and antique stores to purchase. So that's been different too. Like, our philosophy is, if we buy it at this price, we want to price it here so that the resellers can come in and there's still meat on the bone for them to do it. So we like to flip product. I always tell our vendors that bring stuff in, they're like, what should I price this at? And it's like, you could price it at the top of the line, and it'll sit in your booth for the next year. You'll never sell it. Think about your favorite antique store when you walk in. A lot of times it stays the same. And we don't want that. We want things to constantly change in here. So by utilizing whatnot to sell, our price points are just a little bit under what things are worth, so that there's still meat on the bone for resellers to come in and do it. We're able to flip inventory too fast. And that's another thing that we've run into, where we're so busy that it's hard to get out and replace some of that sometimes.
That's our biggest challenge, I think, right now, is inventory. Even though we have a huge store with inventory and we have vendors, the whole store is not vendors. I would say 75% of the store right now is ours.
Is the stores. We have 21 vendors in here right now.
Right, and I think by the end of this year we'll probably have triple that.
I think our goal would probably be to have around 60 vendors. But keeping a good amount of space for the store to be able to sell, obviously the profit's going to be more. But you also need to have vendors, because you can't be one person running a store, or two people running a store, even three, and do all the things that it requires to have a brick and mortar, do the online piece, source your stuff. It's just not possible. So when you run a big vendor mall like this, like, that's one thing we were like, yeah, we'll be able to do it. It's a lot of work.
So then comes the next question is, are we looking to hire help in the future to branch out in these kinds of things, or?
Yes. So we'll definitely hire a cashier. Probably. Well, we do have one. We have our friend Lana. She's our first employee, and she's been helping us since the beginning. Our family has been amazing, by the way, in this. Like, they have been helping us paint and move stuff, and their sweat equity in this is like insane. If we didn't have them, we would have never accomplished everything in these 2 months or 3 months that I think.
Correct.
There's just no way. And they continue to show up. So our friend Lana, she cashiers for me. She comes in 1 day a week so that I can, even if I don't leave the store, I'm able to do stuff. But I think, by the end of August, we'd like to have one more person or two more people, so we can be off on weekends. That's the best time to source.
Right.
And
that's our
so
biggest,
that's the goal.
That's our biggest challenge right now is bringing in. We're selling more inventory than we're bringing in, and I know that sounds great, and it is a really good problem to have. But also, we also like to have this place constantly turning over, so people continue to come back because every time they come through town, they're like, "Well, we got to stop at Guthrie's because
There's always different
there's always
items.
new things, right?"
So I
and
think
so
on
we
a
don't get a
week,
chance to go out and source, but we also have the advantage where people come to us a lot now and say, "Hey, would
will
you
you
know, my
guys
grandmother
purchase?
passed away. Would you want to come look through her stuff?" And we're like, "We will." Or if somebody says, "I have a whole collection of Elvis, albums. You want me to bring them in?" We're like, "Yeah, bring them in." And so we'll look things over and we can buy things right from the counter, which has been a benefit.
We probably tag and put out 200 to 300, would you say, items every weekend?
Yeah, every weekend, 200 to 300 items a weekend go out. And so people bringing us things or giving us an opportunity to go pick at their house or their own estate has been helpful. But then trying to schedule it all has been,
And I do a lot of auctions.
Yeah.
Just because I don't have to, I can do that right from here or right from home.
Yeah, so I know that we talked to Cam Life at the beginning of the season 1 podcast. He's $1 million reseller on Whatnot. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar. He's a clothing reseller. He did hire a bunch of folks and had that growth experience as well. Something that he's doing, I was wondering if it might work for y'all. He does something that's like closet clean out type of thing, where people can mail there. Is that even possible with the type of things that you're sourcing? Like, I'm not sure.
We could probably do an offset, like clothing, like vintage clothing. You could sell, you can send us, but when you're dealing with like high-end Fenton glass and Tiara honeybee boxes, which fairy lamps, which is all the kind of the high-end stuff that everybody's going ham over right now.
Sure,
it would be very difficult and expensive to send it in.
I think our next project we could.
Yeah.
So, hashtag Granny Core. is that basically what's going on?
Primitives and Granny Core, country core.
Yeah, so the stuff that my grandma had at her house basically is what's selling hot right now.
It is.
It really is.
So
anything
interesting.
Heart-shaped shelf, anything gone.
Marmalade.
Can't find them. Marmalade.
Goose. Anything gooses.
Anything goose.
Mushrooms. I found mushroom jars, canisters.
Yeah.
Like I sell toys, and even I knew to pick up those mushroom canisters.
Yes.
Yeah.
I haven't sold them though. They're
sometimes it's the craziest things that go out the door that we're like, we look at each other going, first of all, I didn't even know we had that in the store. Where'd they get it?
Yeah.
And then number two,
we moved the stuff around in here so many times, and then something will go out, and we're like, like egg plates are super hot right now, and we had a green Indiana egg plate brand new in the box. And somebody found it and it was labeled $14. And I'm like, where did you find that? Like, where in here was that?
Yeah, because we missed it. And, that's a $140 plate all day long.
Yeah.
But they got a good deal.
Upstairs. I'm like, oh my God. So, so we're still going through and looking through inventory. And
it does help us, from going from Whatnot to the store and the store to Whatnot to know what people are looking for, what people are buying. Because everybody asks us when they come in, they're like, how do you know what's hot? And we're like, oh, well, we're on Whatnot. And we know that fairy lamps and bee boxes and, Mary mushroom, like we know that's all hot on. If it's hot on Whatnot, it's hot everywhere.
Yeah, when you start seeing people ask 100 times in the chat, do you have this? Do you have this?
Exactly.
You know something.
Exactly. We're like,
so whenever he'll do the camera and I'm always off camera and I always make notes of whatever people ask that we don't have, I write it down. And then when we watch other shows, we'll make note of those things. Then we go out and we try to source it.
Yeah.
But it is I think there's so many people, especially in this area. I mean, it's getting hard to source
so much that it's really gotten competitive. It really has. And so one of the things I always say is you got to spread it out between multiple platforms or a brick and mortar or something. Facebook Marketplace, if you make a significant, I know a lot of people make a significant amount of money just doing the Facebook Marketplace thing. So it's for us, we didn't want to put it all in one basket.
Yeah, our plan too to incorporate both because brick and mortar is great, but then you're only getting the traffic that's coming in the building. Or if you have really good social media presence and you put a video out, somebody might see your video and say, oh, I need to go in there and check for this. But when you incorporate the store with Whatnot or any other selling platform, you're getting your products on thousands of people's eyes. And I think that's what's really the key is if you're going to have one, you really need to incorporate both.
Yeah.
Do you think the growth opportunity to bring a host in is something that you're most interested in, or do you always feel like you should be the face of your Whatnot presence?
I think being the face of our own Whatnot
I
has
agree.
been crucial for us. Just because we've gotten to know so many people and become friends with so many people because we're very like-minded. And I don't know if we would ever be able to find somebody to fill our value and kind of.
Well, I also think it takes away, and this is not, I mean, of course, to each his own, because if you've grown so much and you have to have a host, like kudos to you, that's amazing. I think where we're at right now, we should never say never, but where we're at right now, I think it would take away the personal part of it that we love too, which is making those relationships with all these people. And because we have, like, that's why we've gotten such a positive response to our brick and mortar. If we didn't have that, they'd be like, you know, Rocky Top Relics, who's that? But it's not just Rocky Top Relics. It's like, oh, that's Kenny and Brandy. So, you know, I think that is a big deal.
So what I'm hearing is building a personal brand is essential for business growth. That's something that I don't know if we've really talked about too much on this podcast. It's something that I've been, something I've been working on since the beginning of my social media, like, growth series. Started that in January. So I see the importance in it. And I just wanted to highlight that just really quick for those that might be watching and thinking about what's next for their businesses. Work on your personal brand as your business, I think, is a good opportunity. And it sounds like that's what you guys are doing too. It sounds like, and if you need a gauge of what that looks like, look at Ashley and Jacob's business at House of Coop.
Yeah.
I mean, they did that right. So
yeah, they've doubled down on their brand, and I think that's what's making them successful. People love Ashley and Jacob because of Ashley and Jacob,
and they love their interaction, and they just love their personality. They're natural, yeah. And so I think that if they were to put somebody else on camera, you would see a huge decrease because they don't know the other person. Where everybody feels like, oh, I know House of Coop, and they make great sales because, I mean, they could sell this, you know, root beer for $100 because people love them, you know,
because they love them,
because so I think that's so important.
And
I think that's I'm sorry, go ahead.
People that are getting into Whatnot, you know, nowadays, they don't see where they started. You know, they don't see that the first couple of shows, they weren't making but a few bucks here and there. You know, to now they just surpassed 100,000 followers, the biggest in the vintage category. They're being able to travel all over the United States and source and make. People are following their journey from the time they get up in the morning when they go on their walks to when they get their new dog to how they source, how they set up their shelves, how they ship. I mean, it really becomes all inclusive in their daily lives.
And if you followed them from the beginning, you see like how much work went into where they are now.
Yeah, they've earned every bit of success that they've gotten because they put the work in, and that's all we strive to do. We want to be successful, and we know that being successful isn't an accident. You have to put the work in, and they've just been an inspiration for us.
I see sometimes on the sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Sometimes when you're looking at, you know, there's groups and stuff on social media and people are chatting about it and they're like, you'll see somebody say, I had my first show today and I didn't sell anything. Like, I just don't think it's for me. And that's, you know, it's definitely not a race. It's something that you have to pace yourself and build up. It takes a lot of work, consistency, networking, making friends. You know, it's a social media platform that aspect of it, you're not just going to go in and make, you know, money right off the bat. You definitely have to put in the hard work.
You can't just run a show and then expect to be successful. You have to be active in other people's shows, and you have to be in their chat, and you have to talk to them. And we were getting known not before we were sellers, just because we were constantly in people's chats talking, and we were asked to moderate, so we would moderate for some people. So that was all before we even took the leap into selling. So
it took us a while to do the selling part.
Yeah, us as well. That's how we did it. Matter of fact, I don't know if I was selling when I first met Ellie. I met Ellie through Whatnot. And we formed a fantastic relationship and friendship over the years. I can't say enough about that community and Whatnot. And I think you're absolutely spot on. There's the model of bringing someone into host is okay. That's fine. But you're right. There you kind of lose a little bit of the, I want to say, granola feeling of like starting something from a grassroots effort and then growing that. So, and having friendships like the one I had with Ellie, I reached out to her and I was just like, hey, did you hear about the Tennessee reseller meetup? Something that happens in Nashville, or at least it did the last 2 years before this year. And she's like, no, I didn't. I was like, you should totally come. We're going. Let's do it. We're not that far, and the rest is history.
Best thing. Yeah, best thing.
Awesome.
I mean,
yeah, you form friendships that you never thought were possible. We have friends all over the United States that we met, in Tampa, or we met in Austin, and you get to know them in their rooms and their chats, and they get to know you in yours.
But then when you meet them in person, it's like a totally different, because now you feel like you really know them.
Yeah, you feel like you've known them, and now you actually get to see them in person and have dinner.
And we have most of our friends are on Whatnot. That's kind of a lot of our friends are on Whatnot now.
So before Whatnot, how big was your friend pool?
Ooh.
In Florida, we did have a big.
Pretty good.
We love to host and things like that. So we're just like we love being around people.
But no friends that did reselling.
But no friends that did reselling.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we were kind of an anomaly. People are like, when we travel with friends, like we'll go down to Miami to go on a cruise, we want to stop and hit thrift stores, and they're like, come on guys, like let's just get there and go to a restaurant. We're like,
they're like already 4 stores down, and we're like geeking out over here over something.
Yeah, there's no friends like reseller friends, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I would say I'm probably on my reseller accounts more than I am on my normal Facebook. Just because
I hardly ever look at my Facebook.
For sure.
I probably have 30 total friends on my Facebook.
I think my personal profile knows because it started sending me all the reseller pages to my personal too. So
yeah. Facebook's like, we got you figured out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of your social media growth, how important is that to your business model? Where can people find you out there in the social world?
I think until recently we didn't realize how important it was. We are just starting to grow our social media. Go ahead, because he does all the stuff. He does all the stuff for the store, and
so I was slacking when it came to social media. Kind of post when I could here and there. It wasn't like a top goal of ours. Until we got the brick and mortar. And so when we got the brick and mortar, it was, I reached out to my best friend, Chris, he's a marketing guy, and he's a web guy. And he's like, you have to use social media to bring people in. So I was like, all right, teach me. And so he started guiding me. I was sending him my analytics, and he's like, do this, make adjustments here, do this. And we've seen huge growth on our brick and mortar store, that now we're going to transition that to the Rocky Top Relics. We are a little older, so we're not in tune with the TikTok and as much as we should be. We've just started dabbling.
I've made a couple TikToks.
She's more into TikTok. I can do the Instagram, the Facebook.
I'm not great at it.
But I've learned that social media is a job within itself.
I would say if you were gonna instead of having a host, have somebody do your social media.
That would be something.
You do the
nice strategy, Brandon.
And have somebody do the social media.
I would say for the store, I'm doing anywhere between 4 and 6 posts a day, sometimes up to 10.
Wow.
A lot of interaction posts with the followers. That I need to be doing more of that with.
He's learning it, like scheduling him out is easier. I mean, he's really in the last 3 months learned so much about how to grow that. So we'll start doing that with our Rocky Top. So we're on Facebook for it's Guthrie's Corner on Facebook, and Rocky Top Relics TN for Tennessee on Facebook as well. And then Instagram for Rocky Top Relics TN. So.
Okay. So that's where we can find you and keep up to date on what's new and upcoming for your business, which is super important. I can't stress that enough. I'm not sure if you guys knew, but I am a software engineer, data scientist, and I use that to leverage all things, and I share it freely on this podcast and also the flip side. Okay. So if you're hearing the sound of my voice, just know that that's this place for you guys to come here and learn how we did it. Monetize Facebook in 2 months and 10 days. And we're working on monetizing YouTube in less than 8 months, Ellie and I. Wow. So, yeah. So we are very firmly implanted in social media. Working on TikTok, it's a bit of a wild beast. We just crossed 1,000. Yeah, we just crossed 1,000 friends there. So it's just different, right? So
I think we're at 1,100 on our Facebook for the store within the last 60 days.
That's good. That's incredible.
So I hear that's pretty good. To me, I wanted a little bit faster growth, but you know, take what you can get.
We also, it was also just like even putting the flyers up front, like everyone who walks in, talking to them about joining us on Facebook, or if they say, hey, I love your store, or thanks for this, asking them to, you know, leave a review or
business cards,
follow us. And and so we've created new business cards, and it's a double-sided card. So we have Guthrie's on one side, we have the Rocky Top that we're advertising on the back side. So hopefully that will, in every purchase, handing them out, asking people. So it's really still, it's all about networking, whether you're networking on live or you're networking in person or you're doing it through social media. It's really important.
Both businesses have been crucial to building a following in each business. So people that come in because they saw us on Rocky Top are following the store, and vice versa, you know. So people that come into the store are now following us on Rocky Top. So it's been a help.
We've created a funnel from Facebook to YouTube recently that helped us grow to the point where we can hopefully be part of the YouTube partner program. And I can't say enough about the ability to funnel and stuff like that. We could talk more about that if you want offline. Be happy to help you guys with that presence and what some of the strategies that we've used to grow our social media presence. Sounds like you guys are on the right track, though. They do feed one another, and it's really super important to do both. And we have the Beard King Picker, another Tennessee reseller, in the chat, and he says it's nice to see more resellers in Tennessee. So you guys got a new fan.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
We also have Tiny Toys in chat. Just wanted to say shout out and say hello, Tiny Toys. Thank you for joining us. That's Ellie's mom.
Yes.
Yeah. So Ellie's mom is with us. And so I think that it's super impactful. Social media is the way forward. Do that, do it a lot, and do it often for growth.
Yes.
Normally during this part of the podcast, we do a thing where we shout out another reseller that you would like to see on Launchpad Reseller Podcast. So I will say officially, Rocky Top Relics, who would you like to see on Launchpad Reseller Podcast?
Man, there's so many great people. So I'm going to shout out 2 of them because I think there's 2 of them that would be fantastic. The first one would be Nerds in Love. If you're not familiar with Nerds in Love, that's my best friend Chris, which is Ashley's brother, and his wife Jewel have just started. Probably 2 months in, maybe, and they're doing incredible. Of course, House of Coop has been there to help them, and they are sponges, so they are learning how to do things, and they have been incredible. They are awesome on camera. And then the other ones I would say would be Sisters Hall.
I knew you were going to say that.
Sisters Hall, from up in Wisconsin, 2 sisters. We met them down in Austin, and they are as bubbly and as entertaining as you can get. They have an awesome thing that they do when they get a new buyer, and they sing to them with an accordion. And
what you see on camera is exactly how they are in person. and
They're
they're genuinely really great people, and they have grown substantially on the app in the last few months.
Yeah, and they are just both of them, Nerds in Love and Sisters Hall, are incredible sellers, and they're up and comers that are going to be big on the platform, I believe.
I love that. I think it's important to shout out people that are just getting started. That was the point of this podcast when we first started it, to highlight the resellers that are just breaking their teeth, and also show that there's the difference between that and what $1 million reseller looks like, and that there's room between. Nothing is set in stone. It is fluid to what you need it to be, and there's ways forward with all of it. So we're going to shout out Nerds to Love, and then
Nerds in Love.
In Love.
Nerds in Love.
Yeah.
Okay. Nerds
Chris
in
and Joel.
Love. Chris and Jewel, you've been called out on Launchpad Reseller Podcast. Looking at you. And then Sisters Hall, Hall. Okay.
No, Haul.
Haul, yeah.
Perfect. That's a perfect Whatnot name.
Yeah, right.
We love that. So Whatnot has been something that's been your kind of like way forward, but what does the future look like? Is it, how are you planning to split yourself between Guthrie's, Whatnot? What does the future hold for Rocky Top Relics and Guthrie's?
Well, we obviously need to hire staff, so that's going to be a big thing.
We're on a trajectory now to grow even bigger than where we are, and I'm not sure how long that's going to take, but it's moving a lot quicker than we anticipated. So
we have one more project coming next year that we're not ready yet, but talk about. But we
big project that we're working on. So if you have us back, we will be happy to explain that
next year.
But that's still in the secret phase right now. I would say for us, growing is going to be once we get through this grand opening and we're not, everything from that aspect has calmed down, we are going to utilize both the store and Whatnot simultaneously on a weekly basis. Randy will run the store sometimes while I'm running a show, or vice versa. We're doing it right in the middle of our business hours.
We want to do it that way so that people will see it and get excited about it. And like you said, we have the on-air sign, and they're like, oh, are they doing something back there? You know, it really
generates a lot of conversation. And it's just been a real big hype. We're the only ones in town that are doing it.
You're the only ones I know that are doing it. Ellie, have you ever heard of anything like that before?
No.
So.
We're trying to get vendors to jump on board, and we were offering them our space, and there are a lot of them have been coming up to us.
Some people are buyers. They're buyers on Whatnot, but they're like, oh, I don't think so. And we're like, no, we'll help you. We would love to see more people jump on the app, because the more people that are on there, the better it is. We currently have 1, 2, 3 other resellers in the store that are on Whatnot as well, and they share out all their stuff. They have cards at their, in their booth area to, they send people into the store.
Yep.
So I guess long way to say that is once we have a better idea about how our brick and mortar is going in the first couple of months, obviously when you start a new business, it's more sweat than, then we'll be able to hire staff. Once we can hire staff, we'll be able to source a little bit more, and we're not going to be doing all these extra projects, all these construction things in the store. So that obviously has taken up a lot of time, and that's pretty much over by the end of this month. So that's going to free up a ton of time. So
so we'd like
that's where we start.
More on a routine back into Whatnot and generate the hype when people come into the store. We're live streaming shows throughout the store. Which gets a lot of people going, what's that? Who is that? And then we get to explain it to them and bring in more people to Whatnot.
Our vision is to be able to do, like with the local sellers, just to do meetups here, like fun little meetups, or have dinner, or just little fun events, And
if we can use our 8,000 followers and help out a brand new Whatnot seller that wants to use our studio, we can go live and then raid right into them and help them along the way. So it's not just about growing ourselves, it's about growing the community. and the other sellers around us, because we started off with 0 followers and 0 sales, just like everybody.
I love that idea. So, how would one become a vendor for Guthrie's? Should they choose to do that? Let's say someone's in the local area and they want to get more information about that. Brandy, how can
They can
find
email
that?
us. They can email us at guthriescorner@gmail.com.
Okay.
Just letting us know that they're interested in being a vendor, and usually we'll ask them to provide like photos and maybe a list of things that they sell. One of the things that we try to do when we do bring in a new vendor is we don't like to duplicate vendors who have a lot of the same items. That, you know, ensures that when people walk in, there's a lot of variety in the store. So we definitely have a process of, you know, looking through photos if you've had a booth space before, looking at that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's awesome. There's comments in the chat. Glammin Budget says, "I want to move to Tennessee now."
I'm like, man, I wish I was closer. Y'all got space for a toy seller over there?
Yeah, we're probably about almost 2.5 hour, maybe 3 hour
I think
drive.
we're about the same.
Yeah, I think we're about the same.
You're from down and I'm from the
Right.
same.
Yeah. But definitely, we're gonna make a point at some. We're big on travel thrifting, so we'll make a point to stop by sometime. It's gonna be one of those moments where it's just out of the blue. You're gonna see this large human approach you.
We love it. We love it. We love when people approach us and just talk about, "Hey, we heard about you," or we follow you, and it's almost like getting recognized out in public, you know.
Oh my God. So I just say, one time he gets recognized out in public and somebody was like, "Oh my God, are you a whatnot seller?" And he was like, he goes, I made it. I felt so good. And they said, and he goes, "Yeah, I did. I am." And they're like, "Do you know House of Coop?" And he went,
"Oh man."
He was like immediately deflated. I thought I was getting recognized.
Hey, can you give me their autograph?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It was hilarious.
We've been recognized a few times from our whatnot presence out and about. We do a lot of bins, like Goodwill outlet bins. So when we're
That's the one thing
out
they don't
there,
have here.
The bins.
Honestly, you might be better off.
One out there in Chattanooga area.
Yeah, Chattanooga, I think, is a close.
Yeah.
I took her to the bins in Texas for the first time.
Oh, I got yelled at so many times. I didn't follow the rules. They're like, "Ma'am, you can't push the cart there. Ma'am, you got to stand back." I was like, "Okay, I better watch for a little bit."
I let her kind of
There's a lot of
There's
rules.
definitely a bins etiquette. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I was not aware.
So, Brandy, one last question for you before we get going. Being from Connecticut, you're used to generational homes and the product that can come potentially out of there. Have you considered going as far as that to find inventory? Because I know that once you cross a certain line.
Yeah, we've sourced Connecticut probably 3 times last year.
Do very well up there.
Very well. I mean, we hit one place, the Hens on Nest, they were selling them $15. Like it was insane.
Bought every one of them. They had
every one of them. But my sister and her husband live there. Our son lives there. So we visit often and we drive. And so my sister has all these places. Now what is the one she wants me to go for, which we've never, Brimfield. She wants me to come for Brimfield. I've never gone to that one. But definitely some good sourcing up north.
Truck and trailer, or do you guys just have a really large vehicle?
Just the truck so far. Last year we bought a glass lot off a marketplace. And it was like basically a whole truck full of glass. Fenton, Westmoreland, and my sister went and got it, stuck it in her basement for us, and then we went up, picked that up, and then sourced more. So that was a whole trip. But yeah.
Westmoreland pie plates right now, right? Like create a apple pie or whatever. Have the recipe inside there. Those things are hot.
Closer you get to Thanksgiving, all that stuff just flies off the shelves.
Yeah. Egg plates are still really hot right now for whatever reason. I mean, if you find an egg plate, buy it.
Yeah.
Even the clear ones.
I don't even know what egg plate is, but you guarantee one thing: after I'm done with this, I'm gonna go look it up.
What do you mean?
We're in so many thrift stores and so many places all the time. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of time. Like I'm always looking for pie plates and the B boxes and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't even know what this stuff is, and I'm just like, I'm gonna find this, and I'm gonna shout out Four Seasons Picker. She's my vintage buddy and whatnot.
Right.
House of Cool. I'm gonna send you guys or Rocky Top Relics. All you guys, I'm gonna send you all a message one of these days. Be like, I finally found one.
Finally found one. Yeah.
My friend found a B box on the. Somebody was just selling stuff on their porch, and she's like, how much for this? And they said $5. They didn't know it, and she's like, okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
That's the thrill.
And I'm like,
Hard
that's
to hide that
we do what we
excitement.
do.
I would have died. I would be like, okay.
Yeah, that's what we all live for, though. Finding that stuff in the wild. I mean, it's
Yeah.
one thing to find it at a vintage like booth
Yeah.
setting,
Right.
And it's kind of like up there retail wise, but to find it out there in the wild,
Yeah.
just in a garage sale or an estate
yeah.
sale, is definitely what drives us all. I think Ellie feels probably the same way when she's at the flea market and all the places.
They're doing the 127 sale now, which
Yeah.
I don't know
Four
how
state
far that
crosses,
goes,
crosses
but
the 4 states. The
Yeah.
garage sale.
that's what we're gonna do tomorrow.
So
Okay.
Well, I am. He's going to work.
I gotta go to work.
Oh man.
Oh no. So
Have all the
you're
fun.
you're still working full time for a Department
I
of
work
Homeland?
full time, and she does this full time, and so
And then he works after work. He comes in and helps me close every day, and then we're here every weekend. And
I go to work to get a break.
Yeah, same. No, I'm just kidding. I don't do much.
he's my
I know.
best employee.
Yeah, I get an
Yeah.
employee of the month every month.
Yeah,
Made a
it's
plaque
a
out
job
of it.
job you cannot get fired from, even if you
Yeah,
try.
he tries to get fired all the time.
All the time.
He
Yeah.
wishes I'd fire him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome that you guys have that relationship and you have the flexibility to do that. I mean, when I'm not doing my normal 9 to 5, I love talking reselling, business of reselling, the data of reselling, all the things that people mostly don't like. So it
Yeah,
helps.
and I
all
think
important.
some of our family and friends sometimes are like, "Can we talk about something else?" Like,
Yeah.
because we just love it so much.
Yeah.
When we say we're going to go on a day date, that's what we're doing. We're picking somewhere.
Or go to state sales. On
Or
Saturday
estate sailing, or that's
Yeah.
that's what we love to do.
You get bit by a bug, right? And then all of a sudden, it's
Yeah.
just you live and you breathe it. And that's great. That's what
Yeah.
passion, finding purpose and passion in everything that we do is important. So we always talk about that on this podcast. And it sounds like you guys have found your passion in reselling, and it shows in everything that you're doing. And wow, what an incredible story and journey that you guys have been on. Thank you for sharing that with the podcast.
Well, thank you for having us.
Yeah, I'm glad that we could do this. I know you guys are super busy, so thank you for taking the time. So just know that, we really, really, really enjoyed this time together. Ellie, any last thoughts before we get going?
I appreciate y'all being on. Thank you for your time. This is an
Thank you.
inspiring story. I really hope that others can take away just the message of the sky is the limit with this. And some people will tell us otherwise. Reselling is not a business, they
Yeah.
might say. But really,
Right.
the sky is the limit. You can take it as far as you want to go. So it's been really great hearing your story.
Yeah,
Well, thank you.
I've seen reselling change lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It changes the people, pass it on to their kids. For us, our parents, my parents have got a booth in our store where they
That's
do
fantastic.
vintage furniture, and they love to go out and hunt for vintage furniture. So, it can really change lives, and it's really it can be anything you want it to be as long as you put the work into it.
Yeah.
You want to be $1 million reseller, you can be one. You're just going to put the work in.
Yeah.
Right.
It's the
And it
most
doesn't happen
intentional
overnight.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It doesn't happen overnight, and you get what you put into this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's
Yes.
what's really great about reselling. If you want $1 million business, you have to work like it's $1 million business,
Yes.
right?
Right.
As soon as you get that thought process locked in, the sky's the limit.
Yeah.
And
For sure.
we're looking forward to seeing what the limit is for Rocky Top Relics. We can't wait to see what that story looks like and unfolding. I want to invite you back now before you guys leave. Just know that we want to have you back on the podcast, and we'll
For
talk
sure.
about what that looks like. Maybe next year we'll have you on.
Okay.
Awesome.
So we're gonna go ahead and wrap things up for tonight. I want to remind you guys, if you cannot be good at it. And remember, catch us on the flip side on Sunday nights at 6 p.m. Central we do another one of these podcasts. And for all those listening on your favorite Spotify, Apple Music, or Amazon Music, we appreciate your listenership so much. Make sure you're subscribing and liking over there as well. We appreciate you guys, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Guys, hang on 1 minute. I got one more thing for you.
All right.
Thank you so
Bye,
much. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.